Non-combustible minerals in your pellets turn into fused ash after combustion is complete, creating hard deposits called clinkers, which form at the bottom of the fire pot. The type and consistency of your ash and clinkers will vary with the quality and type of fuel used. We recommend that you clean the fire pot daily. A clean fire pot will ensure consistent lighting of fuel and maintain an efficient burn. If the fuel has a high mineral and ash content or you're burning shelled field corn, clean the fire pot more than once a day. Before you clean the fire pot, allow your stove to shut down and cool completely. Pull the fire pot cleanout rod in the front of the stove just below the ash lip and slide it back into the closed position. Be certain the fire pot floor plate is fully closed when finished. If the floor plate appears to be stuck closed, scrape the floor plate while moving the cleanout rod out and in a few times. Never pull the rod when the stove is operating. At this time, you should empty the ash pan. Allow your appliance to cool completely and make sure there are no hot ashes in the firebox prior to cleaning. If you have an optional log set, carefully remove them and set them aside. About once a week, stubborn clinker buildup must be firmly scraped and chipped out of the fire pot with a putty knife. To the left and right of the fire pot are two cleaning slides. Pull both slides out, one at a time, and use a small brush to sweep ash into the two open holes. Now, sweep the remaining ash from the firebox. The firebox and fire pot ashes are all deposited into one common ash pan located in the pedestal. To remove the ash pan, open the bottom ash door and slide the ash pan straight out. Always assume that ashes are hot and dispose of them properly in a sealed metal container. The amount of ash buildup in the fire pot will be a good guide to determine how often you should clean the heat exchangers. Typically, you should clean the heat exchangers at least once a week. This will keep your stove running at peak efficiency. There are two heat exchange chambers. Each chamber is equipped with its own cleaning rod. To clean, pull the cleaning rod straight out until it stops. Slide the cleaning rod out and in a couple of times. Never pull these rods when the stove is hot. Ash can build up above the baffles, so it's recommended that they be removed for cleaning once a month. Your Castile stove has a latch to keep the top baffle in place. The latch pivots up and down, so push the latch with your finger while sliding the top baffle forward and down. Remove both cast fire brick panels. At the top of each panel is a tab. First lift, then pull outward. With the baffle panels removed from the stove, a thorough cleaning can now be performed. Pull the heat exchanger cleaning rods out and in to clean the uppermost portion of the heat exchanger tubes. This area is only accessible when the baffle is removed from the stove. Reinstall the panels and latch the top baffle when finished cleaning. Be sure the stove is cold before cleaning the glass. To clean the glass, use a damp paper towel or any non-abrasive glass cleaner. Then use a dry towel to wipe off any streaks that may result. Never use any type of abrasive cleaner on the plated surface. This is a good time to inspect the door latch and window seals and ensure that they are in good condition and seal tightly. A tight seal is important for the stove to burn properly. As part of your regular inspection, examine the feed chute and make sure it is free from carbon buildup. This will allow the pellets to drop freely into the fire pot. Check the position of the thermocouple. Push on the back of the thermocouple wire to make sure it's seated all the way in the cover. It's important that the tip of the thermocouple be in contact with the end of the thermocouple cover. Make sure it protrudes 1 inch over the top of the fire pot. The exhaust blower will need to be inspected and cleaned at least once a year or more often depending on the quality, type, and quantity of fuel used. The impeller on the motor can be inspected and cleaned when you remove ash from the firebox. The exhaust blower is located on the right side of the stove. To inspect it, remove the right side outer skin. To do this, loosen the two mounting screws. The panel will slide up and away. This blower requires no lubrication. The convection blower is located at the bottom and to the rear of the stove. It is housed inside a screen box. To remove this blower for cleaning, unplug the connector. There are 4 screws that attach the blower housing, 2 on each side. Loosen all 4 screws but do not remove them. Now lift the blower housing slightly and slide it back. The blower has 2 impellers, 1 on each side of the motor. They should be cleaned at least once each year. Finally, reconnect the connector and reinstall the blower. This blower requires no lubrication. For a more thorough cleaning, a qualified dealer should perform an annual service call.